by Ram trucks built to serve.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to First Things First. I'm Jenna Wolf alongside Nick Wright, Kevin Wilds, Brian Westbrook with us on this Wednesday morning. We got a fun show for you today. Is it now Super Bowl or bust for Tom Brady? And why is Kevin Garnett so mad? And could Tua already be slipping? That's where we start this morning with the NFL Draft. Now just about 2 weeks away. All eyes seem to be on Tua Tagovailoa. The Alabama quarterback took to Twitter yesterday. So he released a hype video of his journey leading up to the draft. But without the ability to bring him in and work him out, there's still this cloud of uncertainty around how healthy he actually is. Nick, I'll kick it off with you. You buying all this Tua hype, or is his health just still too worrisome?
Jenna, I don't believe it's hype at all. I understand the red flags about the health, but the on-field production rivals that not just of any quarterback in this class, but of basically any quarterback in college football history. I know we have no short-term or long-term memory in this country anymore, but so allow me to take you all the way back to January of 2018, when a 19-year-old Tua Tagovailoa takes the field at halftime of the national championship game. His team is down 13-0. Jalen Hurts has completed 3 passes in the entirety of the first half. And Tua leads the Alabama Crimson Tide back, throws a game-tying touchdown late in the fourth, a game-winning touchdown, a perfect pass in overtime to win the national championship. The next year, he threw 25 touchdowns before he threw his first interception. He lost twice in college football. Both times they were to 15-0, undefeated, national champion, all-time great teams in Clemson in 18, and then the LSU Tigers in 19. This is a guy who set the all-time college quarterback efficiency record and then was on pace to reset it this past year. We all talk about Joe Burrow's amazing 2019 season. Until the injury, Tua was having a better season, had a better efficiency, more yards per attempt, 33 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. This is an all-time great player, Wilds, and I get the concerns about the injury, but this isn't hype. This is a guy who, while he was playing college football, was one of the best and most productive quarterbacks we've simply ever seen, Kevin.
So when he put out this hype video, I think the strategy is, let's get people hype. Well, it worked on me. I watched this video and I got super hype, and I think it's a brilliant decision for them to put this out. This wasn't him retweeting something that a fan did. This was a Tua production that is out there for a reason. And I think it not only shows that he's healthy and motivated and wants to win, I also think it shows that he's a smart decision maker. He's looking around and said, wow, there's some question marks about me. Let me start my own campaign. And he's trying to move up the draft. I think it's super, super smart. Look, the projections are first draft pick, it's $36 million. If you're number 3, you get $33 million. If he slips to 6, it's $26 million. It's a $10 million difference. So I could argue you should spend $2 million on your hype video and you'd still make money. I think this is a brilliant move, and it shows just how smart Tua is, not just on the field, but off the field as well, Jenna.
But Brian, to Nick's point, I don't think anyone doubts how good Tua is. We watched him in college. His production on the field speaks for itself. The doubt is obviously, can he stay healthy? Because he is coming off a pretty substantial injury, that hip injury. Is there anything, Brian, that Tua can do right now, hype video or anything else, because he can't go and meet with them in person, to convince teams that he is indeed 100%?
You know what? You're absolutely right, Jenna. There's nothing that, when you look at the tape, you say there's nothing else that he can show you on the college level. He was accurate. He was efficient. He had low interceptions, only 11 total interceptions throughout his college career. And I think more importantly than all of those things, that he proved that he is a true leader in a Nick Saban offense that can go out there and win football games, quality football games against great opponents. And so when you talk about the injury, I just remember back to my playing career. In the 1996, when I was a high school senior, I tore my ACL. And at that point, an ACL injury was a year-long injury, and nobody in college wanted to touch me except for the University of Villanova, because they thought the ACL was an injury that nobody could recover from. And that was, 20-something years ago. Now we talk about Tua and we compare it to the Bo Jackson injury, and that was 20-something years ago. I think this young man at a young age can come back and play very helpful in as far as in the NFL. I think he can do a great job for a football team.
This little wrinkle, and Mel Kiper came out and said that the Dolphins might be now looking at Oregon's Justin Herbert at 5 instead of Tua, who we thought, which means Tua would drop if Tua drops. Do you, our resident Patriots fan, you see a scenario where the Patriots could grab Tua?
I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that just be wonderful, not only for my personal life, but also for the show, to just see if we come on after draft and Tua is on the Patriots and poor Nick shows up and we're like, does Nick need more makeup? He keeps on sweating so much about Bill Belichick and Tua. Oh, it would just be delightful. I would just love it. But Nick, before I throw it to you, let me tell you the thing that drives me crazy. And it happens every week. When a team goes in to play the Ravens and the head coach is asked, like, how do you stop Lamar Jackson? And they're like, oh, geez, how do we stop him? Oh, geez, he's so good. He's this. He's tremendous. Yeah, he was the 32nd pick, and everyone passed on him. That drives me insane. So this is going to happen with Tua in 2 years. You're going to like, oh, we can't stop Tua. He's so good. Who would have known? Everyone knows. We're warning you right now. So if the Patriots can draft Tua, I would be overjoyed. Nick, I feel like you would be super worried.
Well, listen, you should be thrilled with if they were to get him. Now, by the way, speaking of Lamar, I can only imagine how much it hurts you, a Patriot fan, that you guys took Sony Michel instead of Lamar Jackson. But that's neither here nor there.
I know that.
I do, though. Let me first address the Justin Herbert stuff. If a team takes Justin Herbert over Tua Tagovailoa, that is a fold the franchise moment. It's like, oh, it's been good. We've had a nice run. Now let's go try something else. The idea, yes, Tua has health concerns. Justin Herbert has production concerns, big game concerns, how good he is concerns. Like, I respect Kiper, and he's just reporting what he's hearing, but that would be categorical insanity. But let's say that does happen. And so the Dolphins take Herbert, and Tua is available at 6. I just want people to understand, Brian, what it would take for a team like the Patriots to move up, forget to 3, even to 6. Remember when Atlanta traded up to get Julio Jones? That was a trade to move up to exactly number 6. They traded the 26th pick, a 2nd-round pick, 2 4th-round picks, and a future number 1. So if the Patriots want to get in the game here, we're talking about you give away a 1, next year's 1, multiple 3s because you don't have a 2nd-round pick this year, and that might not be enough. So the precedent says if the Patriots want to get in the Tua game, even if he drops, Brian, it would take absolutely a king's ransom to move up into that top 8 to ensure they get him.
Nick, when you bring all that up, I mean, to me, that just sounds like a lot. That sounds like something the Patriots would not be willing to do, even though when you look at it, Tua seems to be the perfect quarterback for their organization. He's a team guy. He would be willing to be coached. He's been coached by a tough coach in college already. He's going to go out there and win. He's not going to turn the ball over. So he's going to do everything similar to Tom Brady, and you hope he's able to win the same way as Tom Brady. And so he's very close to Tom Brady-esque. But I think when you talk about all those picks that they will have to mortgage their future to be able to get up, to me, that sounds like a little bit too much.
They got Stidham. Don't worry, right, Wilds? They're good right now. They got Stidham, so they can hold off on making any big decisions with any of their draft capital. We got to take a break. Speaking of the Patriots, former Patriots, is a Super Bowl or bust for Tom Brady in his first season down in Tampa Bay?